But we're going to start right out with our first guest. And right next to me, I have my guests here. And we have, first of all, we've got Julia Jaster. We have Will McLaren, right? Janice Walz. And we have Roger Kennedy. Got them all here, right? We're missing George Filieau, but he might still show up. And we'll just move him right into the set if he does. My goodness, our town. It's been around forever. Thornton Wilder, great play. You're directing. No, you're not directing. No?
I play Emily.
Okay, you're playing Emily. Okay, how do you like being Emily?
I think she's a very stand-up girl. She stands up for what she believes in. She's very strong-minded.
Okay.
And I like her character very much.
And it's a great play because how is it different? Let's talk, I don't know who wants to address this. How is this play different than any other play that you usually see?
One of the things, I think, one point might be that it is so us. It is so human. I play Mrs. Gibbs, and I have a daughter, okay. Rebecca, played by Savannah. And I'm telling them to get ready for school. Savannah yells down and says, "What am I supposed to wear?" I tell her, "I've washed and ironed your blue gingham dress for you." And she says, "Oh, that old thing." You know, and it's
very human.
It is very human.
And there's no set. That's what I meant about being really different. There's no set.
So you have to practice pantomiming. It says my character makes French toast. So over Easter, when I was making my cheesecake, I was watching how does it look when you crack an egg and things like that.
Because you're going to be cracking the egg, you're going to crack it open and put it in
toast.
And mix it up?
Yes.
How exciting.
It makes you very aware of your emotions.
And what you do has to really become real. Like when I'm on the ladder and I'm doing my homework at night, I have to think about things and make them look like I'm really doing it. So oftentimes I'll read to myself Romeo and Juliet, or I'll do math problems in my head like the quadratic formula, and I won't have homework, but I'll be really thinking about it.
Well, and you have to kind of, because you have to think about what am I pantomiming, right?
And one of the things that Will and Emily have to be aware of, because they sit down and you eat breakfast together.
Yeah.
And can you remember what the director, Ed, said to you about the table?
You have to be all level, so if one person's up here and other person's down here, you have to level it out.
Right. So you can't have Will eating his oatmeal at a table that's like this and Emily down here.
Everything has to be an imaginary line.
Right.
Well, is this your first production, or are you a seasoned actor?
It's my first play I've ever done, and I'm really excited about it.
Are you? Yeah. And what made you try out for it?
Well, my school principal told my mom about it, and then my mom told me, and I said yes. First time I heard it.
But you have a difficult play, because a lot of plays that you're in, you know, you have a room to walk around in, and there's a table there, and there's a chair you sit in. This is all up here.
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
Well, you just have to memorize what you're doing. Like, if you're walking through the door, you have to remember if someone before you pushed the door or pulled it. So you have to remember.
See, I wouldn't even think of that. I just walked through the door because it wasn't there, you know. I wouldn't know.
And sometimes if you're at the table, sometimes you accidentally walk through the table. So
that's
you have
not
to
good.
Pretend that there's an actual table there.
And speaking of walking through the table, not to throw my husband in.
This is Dr. Gibbs.
Gibbs. He has to put up with me. But it was so cute because last night, again, relating to the fact that we have to not only know our lines, relate to the other people, but you have to keep in mind the imaginary buildings. And it was so cute last night because while Dr. Gibbs was speaking to our son George, apparently Dr. Gibbs was backing up into the Webb's house.
Oh. So Roger, are you a seasoned actor? Yeah, you're up.
No, much like Will, first time. This is my first experience.
This is your first experience.
Foray into the world of theater. Yes.
And how's it feel?
It's wonderful. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun also. And I just want to segue with what was said here, that it's all character driven in this play. You have to use your imagination. Everything from a coffee cup to a plate to silverware, newspaper, things of that nature.
You know, it's hard enough to remember when you're on stage where everything is when it's there. I just can't imagine how you remember where everything is when you're when there's nothing there. It's like, where was the table? I mean, this is major. This makes it a much more difficult play. And your ladder, you don't do you ever walk under the ladder, because that's bad luck?
Oftentimes we have to talk it out before we go and do the scene. Like when we're stringing beans and we say, okay, the bowls are here and the can is over here with the beans in it, and we throw the clean beans in the other can, and we can't forget to grab the cans and walk out with them. And we have to remember who's going to carry the can, because we can't both pick up the same thing because it's not there. But
are all these directions in the script?
No, it's in our mind.
They don't give you any guidance.
They give you some guidelines. But I have to say, and this is the play, Our Town, takes place in 1900 to 1904.
It was written in 1938,
and
right?
it was, yes. And it shows a rural rather than a city environment. And I had the wonderful experience of living in Maine in a little, I used to say it was a crossroads. It wasn't. It was only a T. It wasn't even
it wasn't
a
even
crossroad. No, it wasn't. But when we ran a little inn there, so we actually had indoor toilets and flushing, water, running water. But a lot of the other people had wood stoves, had outhouses, and had to pump their water, all of which I have to do.
Oh, you have to pump the water?
Yes, we're discussing, do we have running water? Do we have faucets? And we said we don't have an outdoor pump. We do have a pump next to the
Because that was
the
the big
sink.
thing when they got the pumps in the house.
Exactly.
That was
so
really
we
big.
said we would have a pump in the house. It'd be really confusing to find it outside
Now we think
the
if we
house.
got Wi-Fi, we're good.
Yeah,
right.
And indoor plumbing, you know.
Yeah.
But so that experience I can draw on. And just as Emily was talking about stringing beans, our other mother, her mother, Mrs. Gibbs, played by Peggi, brought beans, real beans, to a rehearsal.
So you know
for
how
that
to
actual visceral experience
Yeah.
of how do you really do beans, string beans, you know?
Well, this to me is a play with a challenge. It's a wonderful play, and every high school I think has done it. Every theater group has done it, but it's well worth watching and seeing again. If you've seen it before, you're going to see it again with a new cast and see their interpretation of it. But it's going to be playing here at the Fenimore Gallery in Proctor's. It's on the second floor, and it is going to be from May 1st to the 10th, right?
Yes, the 2 weekends.
The 2 weekends, yeah.
And the second weekend, there will be 2 performances on Saturday.
Okay, good. And one thing we didn't mention, George Filieau was supposed to be here, was not able to be here, apparently, because he's not here. But anyway, he is the stage manager, and so he relates the story to the audience. He interacts with the audience.
Yes.
It's a delightful play, and you will be
It
part of it. So do yourself a favor, renew the old plays again, Thornton Wilder. And Julia, it's so good to see you, and glad to see that you're
Nice
playing
to see you.
Emily.
Yes.
Will here is playing, what's your bird?
Wally Webb.
Wally, that's
He's my
right.
little brother.
He's a little brother. Okay, good. And Janice Walz, Mrs. Gibbs, and we have Dr. Gibbs over there with your degree.
Thank you.
Yes.
One thing, being a novice in this arena, I found the Fenimore Gallery, the configuration of the audience, it's L-shaped, so you've got to be cognizant of that all the time, so your back is not to the audience.
You got to keep moving.
You do, or at least
Yeah.
situate yourself in a way that most of the people can see you
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah, it's like cap rep, which is done like
Right.
a square, actually. So you got
Yeah.
people on each side, so you have to be cognizant of
Right.
people where they are placed in there, so we don't ignore any of the audience. Like the audience we have today, we don't want to ignore them. Good. Thank you for being here today, and break a leg. Good.
Thank
Good.
you.
Will, it's so nice to meet you. Hope to see you again on the stage.
Okay,
Good.
thank you.
Good. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be talking about TED Talks. Well, sort of TED Talks. Stay tuned. But we're going to start right out with our first guest, and right next to me, I have my guest here, and we have first of all we've got
For what she believes in, she's very strong-minded.
Okay.
And I like her character very much.
and it's a great play because how is it different? Let's talk. I don't know who wants to address this. How is this play different? Julia Jaster, we have Will McLaren, right? Janice Walz, and we have Roger Kennedy. Got them all here, right? We missing George Filieau, but you're directing. No, you're not directing. No?
I play Emily.
Okay, you're playing Emily. Okay, how do you like being Emily?
I think she's a very stand-up girl. She stands up.
Might still show up, and we'll just move him right into the set if he does. My goodness, our town. It's been around forever. Thornton Wilder, great play.